On the show tonight, we celebrate 30 years of comic relief, and this year people are doing all sorts of things. For example, I've been warming up my audience for 24 hours. It's going really well, I think. Isn't it? I say it's going well, isn't it? But, oh. Let's start the show! Yes, a week to go till Red Nose Day, and tonight it's all about comedy. On our funny sofa, we have Mr. David Walliams, the divine Jennifer Saunders, Mr. Jack D, the one and only Johnny Vegas, plus pop star judge and all-round icon Cheryl Fernandez-Versini is here. Yes. Cheryl Cole. I was confused. It's Cheryl Cole, in fact. That's what's going on. Yeah. No, because I thought, who the hell's that? No. Anyway, this year is the 30th anniversary of Comic Relief, and since it started, they have raised £950 million. Yeah. But here's the big thing. This year, they are hoping to try and get that total to over £1 billion, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and with your help, they can. It's a big target, but with your help, they can do it. And all my guests tonight have performed unbelievable physical feats of endurance for Comic Relief. I mean, Cheryl climbed Africa's highest mountain, Kilimanjaro. Yes, she did. Jack D navigated the rapids of the treacherous Zambezi. And Johnny Vegas, well, he made a clay pot. Yeah, in fairness now, Johnny made a pot for the cast of Ghost the Musical, because in the film, Demi Moore made a pot, you know. I mean, you do think, Johnny, just because Demi Moore does something doesn't mean you have to do it. I mean, when Demi posed for that famous Annie Leibovitz shot, you know, you didn't pose like that, did you, Johnny? Oh. It's sort of unbelievable there isn't a baby in there, isn't it? It's sort of... That's all beer? Wow. Now, Jennifer Saunders, she's been busy for Comic Relief this year. She's appearing in the special series of Bake Off, where she made a delicious chocolate cake. Here she is having just a tiny taste. Mmm, delicious. Ooh, it is a bit Moorish, though, isn't it? Yeah. And 5 minutes later... Yeah. Finished. But, you know, when these celebrities complete those huge challenges, they must be absolutely overjoyed. I mean, here's a delighted David Walliams after he's swam the channel. A thrilled Cheryl after she climbed Kilimanjaro. And an ecstatic Jack D after he canoed down the Zambezi. Let's get those guests on! I've hit the jackpot! It's Johnny Vegas! There he is! Oh, yeah, that way. Hello, sir. Hello. Come in, things are down. Give me a D, Mr. Jack D! Woo! Hello, sir. I'm going to see you. Have a seat, Bill. It's a yes for me for Cheryl Fernandez-Versini! Looking lovely as always. Hello, my dear. Hello. Sit yourself down. We're nearly there. Little Britain's Got Talent and David Walliams! Yay! Hello, nice man. Hugging. Okay. And crack up with the body, it's Jennifer Saunders! Sit down. Someone's on message.
I'm the merchandise whore this evening.
If they make it, you've got it all.
I've got it. Very good.
Are you keeping those glasses on throughout?
I'm actually looking at it. No, I'm not. I'm taking them off.
Yeah,
I'll pass them along.
Yeah. And seriously, thank you very much for kind of taking the time out of your lives to come and celebrate 30 years.
It's a joy to be here with you.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. Can we all take a moment to hate Cheryl? Because even in those, she looks good.
Doesn't she?
That's annoying.
How did she manage that?
No, see, that's how models sell us
Oh, no,
clothes.
you know, big eyebrows are all in the fashion, that's why.
It's like Thunderbirds does sexy.
Yeah, it is like sexy Thunderbirds. See, Johnny, you try them on.
Why?
Because, well, I just suggest they will look different.
Am I not visually disadvantaged enough? That I have to now look like a predator? A charity show.
There's a whiff of Family Guy. There's a whiff of Family Guy about
Definitely.
It looks like I'm only living at home until my mum dies so I can have the inheritance.
I think she died.
Yes, I read a lot. I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones.
So listen, this year, David, you're very involved. Now, you and Cheryl are in a sketch together.
Yes, we are.
Oh. And is it true that David and Cheryl, you were nearly an item in the past?
Cheryl has always had this thing for me. And, no, but what happened was... but you probably don't even remember that. It probably never even entered your world, your universe.
Okay.
I can't look at her for too long because she's very pretty. Well, when Girls Aloud came along, I met Louis Walsh and I said, oh, are any of them single? You know, and he went, oh, well, I'll ask. I thought he would discreetly find out, but I think he called a meeting of all of them. He said, do any of you want to go out with David Walliams? They went, no! And that was the end of that.
David, you mustn't lie.
Please don't touch me,
charity.
please. Please. Just respect the boundaries, please, if you can.
So now, back to Comic Relief. I think I was hosting the year that they made you, Jack D, do just the most random thing.
What, the poll you're talking about?
The poll.
I don't understand it either. I don't know why.
On the night, I didn't understand it.
No one can even remember it happened. It was so pointless. I don't know why I was up there and...
How long were you up at the poll for?
6 hours or something. No one cared.
Here you are. It was a big poll.
Yeah, look at it. Look, like Nelson.
Yes, I remember, but I couldn't... People were asking why, and I couldn't remember. What happened?
There was no point to it at all. I think they just put me up there to get me out of the way for an evening.
So what, you stood at the top of the pole?
I just stood at the top of the pole for 6 hours, and that was it. And then I had to come down again. That was all. It wasn't even dangerous. How much money was welded
raised?
to the thing at the top.
Was any money raised?
Yeah, they raised £780 million. Oh, right. Quite a lot of that billion is down to me being up that pole. But... And then I had to go... I gave a talk at my kids' school, because, you know, about raising money, and all the kids wanted to ask us, what did you do when you needed a pee at the top of the pole? And I had to say, well, I had to pee into a funnel, and which is true. And it was true. There was a funnel at the top. I don't know where it came out. where it went. Maybe that was another challenge. You just... I don't know what it was, but anyway, the headmistress called an end to the talk at that point.
Well, listen, before we get on and talk about other Comic Relief things, let's remind ourselves of the extraordinary difference that Comic Relief has made to so many lives over the years.
Just doing one of those Comic Relief appeals from Africa. You're not in Africa, are you? This is BBC television, isn't it?
57 million. 75 million is 107,851.
Anyone who's texted a fiver, you've made a lot of people's life very different today.
Kicks off next Friday on BBC One at 7 p.m. But, of course, the fundraising is underway already, and one of the things that's been doing that is the Great British Bake Off. Comic Relief does. Yeah. Jennifer Saunders in the final.
Yes.
Well done, you.
Thank you.
Now, wait a minute. You might applaud that. I believe the bar was set quite low on your episode.
I think you're wrong.
Lulu, has she ever turned an oven on before?
No, she hadn't. No, she hadn't turned an oven on. Joanna Lumley had never cooked anything. She has a banana for lunch and a small raw egg. I was the only one who'd ever, I think, probably cooked anything.
So did you win by default? Just because
No, I won because I was brilliant.
Sorry. well, this is your...
It was a good cake.
This is your showstopper cake. We really should have got pictures of the other things. Even Johnny's going, no.
No, I'm just brilliant. The eyes follow you around the room. That's what every cake looks like when I approach it. Oh, no. No, I thought I'd have a longer life.
What was it meant to be?
It was a bed. It was a Dina's vodka-soaked bed.
But there was some vodka
The orange
involved.
thing are her pants.
Oh, I see.
That's her pants.
Oh, and there was a bottle.
And that's her head, which is that thing there.
The red cabbage. Yeah, lovely.
We didn't have a lot of time.
Clearly.
Thunderbirds. That's all. Back to that. Look at it.
But vodka was involved in the making of the cake.
Clearly.
Yes, and in the programme, I can tell you.
You
we
did?
had quite a lot of vodka.
Because, Jack, were you asked to do this?
I was asked to do...
You're sorry now. You'd have walked
I'm very sorry now, having seen the efforts that they came up with. I was asked to do it, and I said... No, I wrote back as a joke. I said, no, I don't want to do it, because I find Mary Berry very aggressive. I don't like her attitude. And they wrote, oh, well, she's actually really nice, but if you don't want to do it, it's fine. I was joking.
But Jennifer Saunders, we must talk about your biggest contribution over the years are the amazing sketches you've done and those kind of big set pieces.
Well, I mean, Comic Relief is one of the few places you can actually just do anything you want. And they say, OK, what do you want to do? All right, we'll do that. Off you go. And it's been like a dream, actually.
But then it is weird when you're working with the real people, because obviously when you did the Sugar Lumps, was it they called the Sugar Lumps?
Yes.
With the real Spice Girls?
Yes.
Were they there?
Yes.
So, do they find it funny looking
Yes.
in that mirror?
I don't know how funny Victoria thought it was, but it was...
Dawn is uncanny.
No, that was one of the... Honestly, that was the best fun ever. Because we sort of knew them anyway, because we'd done sketches and stuff on French and Saunders with them. And they were just up for it.
The great thing about Comic Relief is no one says no.
Yeah.
You know, we had Elton John a few years ago, and this year there's a Stephen Hawking. There's a sketch with him. We've also got Daniel Craig in a James Bond sketch. And the great thing about Comic Relief, no one can really say no. It's actually like...
They have to have a really good excuse. Like death.
Yeah. Sorry, I died. I can't do it.
I'm dying. Sorry, I can't do that.
You mentioned Stephen Hawking. How do you get Stephen Hawking involved?
Well, you ask him.
How does that happen? Is he on Facebook? Do you message him?
I don't know exactly. It's hard because you kind of have to write the sketch in advance and just check. This is actually a Little Britain sketch, with a Lou and Andy sketch with Stephen Hawking. What I like is it's quite un-PC, but you don't exactly know why. And we just got in touch with him. He knew the show, and he's a big comedy fan. And, yeah, he just agreed to do it. So we were absolutely thrilled. And we couldn't get him at a better time, really, with Eddie Redmayne just winning the Oscar.
He's so hot right now.
And yeah, went to his... No, but I mean...
It couldn't be better. It couldn't be better. I mean, it's just great.
I was just chuffed. And he gave me script notes as well. And I thought, well, how often do you get script notes from, like, a genius like that? And he'll go down in history, like sort of Isaac Newton or something, won't he?
What sort of script notes did he give you?
He said, well, we had 2 different Tom Baker lines, and one with Tom Baker talking about being nude, and then Stephen said, I preferred the version where Tom Baker said he was nude. And I went, fine. Yeah. Fine, anything you say.
He's so hot right now.
Yeah. But no, I was just absolutely blown away. And I was actually very moved by the end of it. I felt like crying just because I was so grateful he'd done it.
Wow.
But the funny thing is, he was actually just doing his emails while we were filming the sketch. He didn't do anything other than be there. And he was just, you know, there was an email from Amazon and he was just looking at that. He's so smart, he can multitask. You know what I mean?
Well, here's a taste of that sketch.
Oh, look! There's some ducks! You like ducks, don't you? What noise do ducks make?
I am late for my lecture on the origins of the universe.
No, they don't say that. They say quack, quack. Can you say quack, quack?
I am a university professor.
Oh, then you should know what ducks say. Right, now we'll have a nice look around and I'll get you home, get your tea on, and if you're very good TV, you can watch Peppa Pig.
Piss off.
What do you mean?
Very good. Now, comic relief. Big physical challenges over the years for the celebrities. Now, Cheryl, looking back, Kilimanjaro, that seems quite a lovely thing to have done compared to some of these really grim things.
No.
No?
It was grim.
Was it?
Yeah, really grim.
But it must be... It's so annoying when you do a thing like that and you come back and it doesn't even look hard.
It's important, yeah.
I tell you. It just looks like a slight hill.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
Cheryl, you know, my wife.
The same person.
I'm on a phone call today.
Yeah. That's a great episode of Who Do You Think You Are? We found your mother.
I was in the car and my wife went, genuinely, she went, you know, you could do that Kilimanjaro thing. And then about 3 seconds later, she went, if you just drastically changed everything that you are. And we drove on in silence for 5 minutes. You know what you're going, it's not going to happen.
But did you do lots of training, Cheryl?
No. Not as much as I should have. I was really bad, actually. I don't know how I submitted, because I got me mum to break in the shoes. Because we had the same size feet. I did.
You got your mother just walk around in the boots?
So you got to go up Kilimanjaro.
First.
No, like, wear thick socks and walk around in the shoes so they were broken in.
Yeah.
And I did once or twice.
Real commitment, that.
I had a cross trainer at the time at home, and I had a setting which said Kilimanjaro. So to me, that was like the equivalent of working out, and I would do 45 minutes on this cross trainer which said you reach the top and then you enter the bottom, and that...
It was hardly worth going.
That was me.
You were sort of expecting it to be 45 minutes.
I kind of was expecting it to be a pleasant walk, which I actually don't mind. It's when it starts raining and then you have to scrabble, they call it, which is grab with your hands and feet while it's raining, up vertically.
But you did it.
I don't know how. And I don't know... And bless Fern Cotton, I mean, she had altitude sickness from, I think, about day 3. We didn't know if she would make it, and she pushed and pushed and pushed, and we all 9 of us submitted.
God.
So, yeah. It's hard. I mean, for people that have experienced it, they get it.
What are the two of you laughing about?
I must say, I've summited. In the past, I've been lightheaded.
You've summited, Jennifer.
I've summited regularly.
I would have felt queasy afterwards, but that's normally guilt.
And before
So when you got malaria?
I actually got malaria on... You know, have you ever heard of that famous saying? They say no good deed goes unpunished.
I've heard that.
So I climbed Kilimanjaro for...
Comic relief.
Comic relief to eradicate malaria. The reason was to eradicate malaria, get nets for the local people to stop the mosquitoes biting them in the evening, etc. 2 years later, I got malaria.
It's because of people like you we're still having to raise money, you know that. It's never going to end. It's never going to end. It is never going to end.
Now, here's the thing. Comic Relief has this idea of using kind of big reality shows like Bake Off. But Jack D, you were there for the birth of something that is still with us, Celebrity Big Brother.
I can only apologise. It's just been... It's been an enduring nightmare throughout my career ever since we did that. I mean, when we did that, no one really knew what Big Brother was. We'd had one series of it, and they hadn't had Celebrity Big Brother. And and they rang me and said, "Will you do it?" And they said, and I said, "Well, who else is doing it?" They said, "Oh, yeah, David Walliams, Jennifer's doing it, Johnny Vegas is doing it. You know, everyone's doing it." So I was tricked into it. I was tricked into it. I thought it'd be great and I'd be with people who are, you know, better than me and I can learn from them. And then I ended up with.
These people. You ended up with these people.
Characters.
But that is...
It's Anthea Turner.
Yes. I mean, It must have been very... particularly if you didn't know what to expect.
It was a complete nightmare because I hadn't watched the show. I hadn't really watched the show and absorbed it and realised what I was letting myself in for. And I first got... the first point where I got suspicious was they actually came round to my house to pick me up and went through my suitcase. I thought, what kind of show is this? So, you know, to make sure I didn't have books or telephones in my suitcase or drink or anything like that. They go through everything and...
Because presumably you all thought, oh, it's for charity, they're going to give us an easy ride.
Absolutely.
But they really didn't.
No.
Oh, what, you actually stayed in the house?
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
For how long?
Well,
for a whole week.
You escaped at one point.
You don't just go home.
You climbed out, didn't you?
I escaped out of sheer desperation.
With a bottle of red wine, he climbed on the roof.
Yeah.
I know you have a kind of lockdown on clips of this thing being shown, but you are allowing us to show a clip. And because you have a lockdown, I haven't seen these clips sort of since...
It was that bad?
Then.
Well, it was... The reason I've never given permission is because they just want it for, you know, the best clip ever show type of thing. And I just thought it's not what it was about, so... But
what's amazing looking back is it's like Big Brother made in Azerbaijan or something. It looks like some sort of really... It looks like the house is made of asbestos. Yeah. It's pretty grim. And this is you... I mean, escape is too big a word for what happened, but you did leave.
Well, I was trying to escape. I was trying to tunnel out and under the gate, and then I realised the gate was open anyway. I mean, it's real, like, you know, Steve McQueen stuff in reverse. So once I realised it was open, I was away. I went.
Well, this is the clip of that moment.
Jack tries the back gate of the Big Brother house. He finds it open.
out.
25 minutes later, Jack is still missing. Anthea folds towels in the bathroom.
Hey, we're just a bit concerned about Jack. Is he all right? You don't know where he is now?
Big Brother will get back to you.
OK, will you let us know just before we go to bed, please?
3:43 a.m. Jack has returned to the Big Brother house.
Here he is.
Jack, why did you leave the Big Brother house?
Because it was easy.
Jack, Big Brother recommends that for your safety, that you don't leave the Big Brother house again.
I just sort of lost my mind because the door was open. And it feels funny in here.
Wow.
Because I didn't really pay any attention on the way to the place. I don't know where I was. So when I escaped, I ended up in Stratford East, basically, at 3 in the morning. And I just thought, if this is what the outside world is all about, I'm not going back. And that's why I handed myself in again, because I just thought, I've got no money on me, I have nothing and no phone. I'm literally like someone who's escaped from prison. So I thought the best thing to do now is just go back.
And why was your face all covered in whatever it was?
Because I've been hiding from the security. I put dirt on my face so that I could, you know, watch. You know. I have a background that no one knows about.
Oh, dear. Now, when it comes to the physical challenges, the single person who has raised the most money is David Walliams. David Walliams, surely. When we saw you swim the channel, you know, we were all kind of in awe. It was like, oh my... But actually, in retrospect, that was quite easy for you.
It's just a warm-up. Well, no, I mean, it was weird. I was in Ethiopia with the man Kevin, who runs Comic Relief, and he said, is there anything you've ever wanted to do sporting-wise? I said, oh, I was fancy swimming the channel. He went, you can do it next year for Sport Relief. And I thought, well, I thought nothing more of it. Then I got back, you know, off the plane, and suddenly there was a meeting set up with the man from the Channel Swimming Association. I kept on thinking at some point someone would just say, oh, this is stupid, it's never going to happen. And it never did, and I had to do it. And then it was like, right, you've done that, what's next? How about the Thames? You go, what?
Wow.
But I do like swimming. Well, I used to like it.
Yes, I was going to say, you can't like it much now.
I used to like swimming. I mean, I'm glad I did those things, and they're the things I think that, you know, when I meet people, they're the things that people tend to mention to me more than anything else.
Because you went down to cheer David on in the Thames.
I did. I'm from Wandsworth Bridge, and with my kids. I was not on my own, you know, but I was... and I cheered, but, you never waved back, David. I always slightly held that against you.
I didn't know you were there.
I just thought, oh, he's changed. All this attention on him now, he doesn't want to know me anymore.
He's very driven,
very driven. But then, it has to be said, you were going downriver, weren't you? So it wasn't... The real challenge is to swim the other way, isn't it, surely?
There is flow. There is flow.
That's what I'm saying.
There was a point when you were swimming up the Thames and you just looked...
Yeah, I wasn't in a good
Beyond.
place. No. But the thing is, you're being filmed, so you have to carry on. There's, like, no option.
You can wave occasionally to people.
I did wave. I did wave.
He saved a drowning dog, didn't you?
Yes, I did. A dog, it was actually a disabled dog.
Oh.
That makes the story somehow more poignant.
Oh, my God. What are we waiting for? It's the second coming. Jesus, in 2 minutes, half of us are going to heaven. Let it be me.
The dog...
I loved your work on the cross.
The dog fell in.
Big fan, despite the guilt. Every time I masturbate, I feel like you're looking down at me. Well done with all the swimming.
I'm normally spying through a keyhole. I'm not...
Let's go back to the dog in the Thames.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the dog fell in and then it couldn't get out again, and the lead snapped.
Oh.
And then I helped the dog out, and then a few weeks later I was reunited with the dog for a photo shoot for Radio Times.
But now, are you all better now? Because you did proper damage.
I once didn't step on a tortoise. But you get no credit for that. And I was quite drunk at the party. And even though the garden was poorly lit, I went, that doesn't look like a stone. And I did a longer step than I normally would. And the tortoise survived. But I'm crap at swimming.
I was concerned about your health, though. Are you all right now?
Totally. I am all right, but I had to have a bit taken out of my back last year because...
From the swimming?
Yes, because...
What do you mean a bit? What bit? Out of your back?
Yeah, something had to be removed because it had broken one of the...
one of the vertebrae?
Yeah.
That sounds very serious.
It was quite serious.
If I'd had something taken out of my back, I'd know what it was.
Well, I never saw what they took out, but yeah, one of the vertebrae got squashed and it was torn, so they had to take it out.
What was that from? Repetitive?
Like a disc?
It was from, from just being in the water for that long.
Repetitive.
Because it actually puts strain on your back.
Are you sure, though? Because fans are quite keen on mementos. You could have had a surgeon who just went, I've got a bit of his back. I've got a bit of David Walliams'
The great
back.
thing is, I never have to do anything ever again.
Yeah, you are off the hook now.
I'd love to, but back.
We talk about comic relief changing lives, and in a way, weirdly, comic relief did change your life, Cheryl.
It did.
Because Celebrity Apprentice, that was the first time you met Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I assumed you the Girls Aloud show, but he wasn't in that.
No, he wasn't involved in that at all. So, actually, I did comic relief The Apprentice, where it was girls versus boys. Nobody had the nerve to call Simon Cowell other than me, which I did on camera, so I had evidence. Hard evidence.
Yeah.
So I left him... He didn't answer the phone initially. I left him a voicemail saying, it's Cheryl, I want some money from you. Fair point.
Yeah.
I'm doing comic relief. You have half an hour to call me back. I would like between £1,000 and £10,000, please. By the way, I am on camera, leaving this message, no pressure. I'll expect your call. So everyone that I was working with at the time on my side was a bit like, did you really just do that? I was like, oh yeah, the man's got money. Easy way out. And I knew his nemesis at the time was Piers Morgan, who was on the opposite side.
Yes.
So I knew I had a bit of a in. And he called back within 10 minutes and he said, I can do one better than that, darling. I'll give you 25,000.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was the beginning of our relationship.
Well, and hello, job. How good.
Hello, give me some money and then
Yeah.
A hello job.
Yeah, no, it is good. And I have to say, I don't know if you watched that Celebrity Apprentice, but if you did, I remember the night after it showed, we came into the office and we have to have Cheryl on the show. Because we suddenly just got a glimpse of this other side of you. Because Trini's Trini, God love her. And you were obviously getting on very well with the crew.
Yeah.
So have a look at this clip of Cheryl on The Celebrity Apprentice.
Is this supposed to wake me up or make us tired?
Really do the breathing, you're not doing it.
Who taught you that, by the way?
Russian doctor who I go and see in Austria and stay with do detox with.
That's so funny. That's brilliant.
Brilliant. Have you seen her since?
No. Yeah, she was a character.
She's that. Yes. Now, Johnny, we saw that you've done a pot thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this year you're doing, is it a live sketch you're doing?
I am, yeah. I'm One Direction. I'm going to be one of the singers out of that.
Which one?
I don't know. He has a red hoodie on. I've watched it. Look, I'm aware of them. I'm not aware of the work because I'm not a Leonard Cohen kind of guy. Self-loathing, vodka on the cornflakes. One Direction don't really go with that, do they? I'm going to learn the song and sing it and dance it and most probably go out with a cardiac arrest.
But now, the other thing you can do if you want to raise money already for Comic Relief is you could go out and buy a copy of David Walliams' new book, which, very kindly, you have donated all the proceeds to Comic Relief. It is the Queen's... Now, orangutan, I say, but that's wrong, isn't it?
Orangutan. If you Google it, as I did to check, you'll find that...
What a dedicated author you are!
How do you spell orangutan? I thought I'll have to get that right. Yeah, no, I'm pleased because I've had success in recent years with children's books, and I actually think this is one of my best. And it's about the Queen waking up one day and deciding she'd like a butler orangutan, and she's got a secret plan to actually escape from Buckingham Palace.
How do you think of these things?
I don't know.
Is it in your imagination?
I think it does come from...
It's based on real events.
But it's great to be... It's only $4.99, and, yeah, all the profits forever go to Comic Relief.
Oh, fantastic. Yes. Now, listen, our time is nearly up, so we're going to end with a film. Now, one of the themes of this year's Comic Relief is reunions, and this film tells the story of a very happy reunion indeed. So, David, do you want to kind of introduce this? Tell us about it.
Yes, it was about 4 or 5 years ago I met a boy called Philip, and he was living on the streets of Kisumu in Kenya. He was an orphan, both his parents had died, and really that was just before I swam the Thames, and I went back to visit him a couple of years later. And the money raised, the money so generously given by the public, put him in school, got him reunited with his uncle, and we went back to see how his life is now.
And it is really important to remember that, you know, because the films often show you why we need to give the money. But it's lovely to see a film like this that reminds you that actually the money does make a difference.
I think it's really good, and you were talking earlier about, you know, the fact that Comic Relief may well, you know, pass the £1 billion mark, and so I think it's really important to do these success stories, and it really does work. And it's really hard because you'll hear some fact that, you know, there's so many million children homeless in the world, but actually it's really great to focus in on one child and really get to know their story and why and how they can be helped, because it really does work, Comic Relief.
In 2011, I met a little boy called Philip. His parents had died, and he ended up living on the streets of Kisumu in Kenya.
This is where you sleep?
Yeah, down here. So we put the boxes down here.
I mean, this is in the middle of 2 really, really busy, noisy roads.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm just alone.
We asked you to help, and I've come back to see how much his life has changed.
Well, hello. How are you? Nice to see you. My word, you've grown. You're a big, strong man now. I've grown too, I've got fatter. When I met him in 2011, it struck me that he still had a dream to go to school, to get an education, to make something of his life.
That's exactly what he's done. With just a little help, his life is back on track.
I used to sleep on the ground. Now, as I'm sleeping on the bed, it's so soft that as I think of the past, I feel like I'm happy now. Yeah, and I'm enjoying life. If comic relief would have come along, I would have just been dead by now, because since then, many of my friends who are still in the street, some of them have died. It makes me feel sad.
Your money really does work. Philip is the living proof.
Don't forget, it's next Friday night. Next Friday night, Comic Relief starts here on BBC One at 7 o'clock. But if you've been inspired by anything tonight, you can already start to give by texting this number. To donate £5, text the word 5 to 70510, or to donate £10, text the word 10 to 70510. Text messages will cost £5 or £10, plus your standard network message charge. And 100% of your donation will go to Comic Relief. You must be 16 or over, and please ask the bill payer's permission. For full terms and conditions, visit the website at bbc.co.uk/rednoseday. With your help, let's hope we can get past that £1 billion target and help thousands more people. Right, yes. Now, very quickly, a brief musical interview, because, of course, Cheryl, you have a new single out, haven't you?
I do. Yes.
Word is really... By the way, have you cut your hair?
I have. I've cut it and I've dyed it red in aid of Comic Relief.
I think there are brighter reds than that that we could go to, yeah. For Comic Relief, I definitely think we should go a bit brighter than that.
Would you?
That is like...
Why don't you then?
I think this colour, this
We can
colour.
arrange that.
No, I'm talking about for you.
No, we can arrange that.
No, I've backfired now.
Not a problem. Whether it's backstage, it could be arranged. Not a problem. Next time you see Jack Day, right.
Leave it alone. I'm strawberry blonde.
But we've got a clip. What's the name of the new single? It's Only
Human.
Only Human. It's out on March 22nd.
22nd.
Just keep your fingers crossed. Sign your love, can't sing your loss. Until your love so loud. If you listen, you can hear it shout. You are the universe.
A lot of singers this. Would you never enter Eurovision for us? Would you never do that for us?
No. Oh.
Come on.
Maybe a Comic Relief version of.
Yeah. Dye your hair red, get on there.
That's what I need, that.
Cheryl sings Eurovision. I like that.
I keep setting fire to places just so I have that explosion behind me.
For that great look.
Yeah, just to look sexy. And I end up, you know, a night in the cell. You'll get celebrated for it. I look bloody amazing with the gas explosion behind me. I leave the cooker on all the time.
Right, before we go, let's make this week's pitch the red chair. And as it's Comic Relief, instead of stories, tonight we're going to be hearing jokes. This could be really terrible, couldn't it? Yeah. Even the audience go, I normally enjoy this bit, but no. OK, tough crowd. Here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
James.
James, lovely. And where are you from, James?
I'm from Essex.
Essex, OK. And is this a joke you tell a lot?
I've told it a few times.
Yeah, it's normally gone well, has it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a Q&A or is it just a straightforward joke?
It's a Q&A.
It's a Q&A. OK, off you go with the Q.
So, what does a nosy pepper do?
OK, what does a nosy pepper do?
I don't know. What does a nosy pepper do?
It gets jalapeno business.
Go. That's too bad, too bad.
I've told this joke before. It goes quite well. Where does he tell it?
Jalapeno wouldn't make it into a cracker at Christmas in a nursing home.
Let's have another one. Hello?
Hello.
I felt like I was at the Christmas office party. It was wacky. Sorry, was that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's quite mean.
I've got another one now. It'll be her again. Oh, no, it's not. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Hazel.
Hazel. Lovely, Hazel. And is this a joke you've told a lot?
This is a joke and that I have told a lot. It's a special Geordie joke for Cheryl.
OK.
OK, Geordie joke for Cheryl. Off you go.
OK, so Your Royal Highness, Prince Charles, goes to Balmoral to visit his mam, the Queen.
Right.
And in he walks the next morning. Good morning, Mother. But he's wearing something very much resembling a dead fox on his head. And the Queen says, oh, Charlie, can one tell one why one has got a dead fox on one's head? And Prince Charles says, oh, yes, well, actually, I was a bit confused as to what to wear, so I asked my new butler. The orangutan didn't work out, so I've got a Geordie butler now. And when I said, what should I wear to Balmoral? The butler said, Balmoral, wear the fox hat.
That's not bad. You can walk, Hazel. You can walk. He's not bad, these jokes.
We want some bad jokes.
OK, let's have another one. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Julien.
Already I'm liking this joke. It's got an accent. Are you from France?
Yes, I am.
OK. But there's no shame in that. OK, Julien, off you go with your joke.
OK, there is a man who is setting up his new computer. He's very...
This is my favourite joke so far.
He's very proud of it, and his wife is sitting just next to him. And comes the moment where he has to set up his password. And he's thinking, what can I put? And he has a brilliant idea. Oh, I will put my penis. And on the screen, there is a red message, and his wife just laughs. It's written, too short.
That was bad.
And I thought the accent would save any joke. I thought that accent would save any joke.
I think it killed it.
OK, quickly, one more. OK, this is it. The hopes of a nation ride on you, sir. What's your name?
Phil.
And again, is this a tried and tested joke?
It is a tried and tested joke, not mine, borrowing it, but it's hopefully going to make everyone laugh.
OK, we're thrilled.
What's the difference between a lentil and a chickpea?
The difference between a lentil and a chickpea.
What is the difference between a lentil and a chickpea?
Anybody? Anyway?
No, my wife's a master at these. She can guess.
Why not let him tell us?
Is it about this? No, it's not about him. It's about us right now.
Slightly ruined the timing of the joke for him, I feel.
OK, no. So, sorry, what's the difference?
What's the difference between a lentil and a chickpea?
I don't know. What is the difference between a lentil and a chickpea?
I've never paid good money to have a lentil on my chest.
You flip it. Well done, everyone. That is it for tonight. Please have a listen to Johnny Vegas. This is Jack D. Cheryl Fernandez-Versini. Kevin Walliams. And Jennifer Saunders. Hey, we're off on a mini break. We'll be back after Easter. Have a great comic relief next week. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.